we're going to go and observe Amanda Petter teaching her Year 12 specialist maths class. This maths class is composed of students both from girls and co-ed campus because it's a very specialised class.
Although we use it for checking. So we're just looking at what the shape of the graph is, what the asymptotes are and so on. And I think you've already worked out the asymptotes, the vertical and horizontal. Mm-hmm. And we're working on the intercept, which we have found goes through one of those asymptotes. Is that correct? Yeah. All right, so what's next?
You're going to draw it now.
Okay, yep. Okay. So let's not worry about the dilating the axes or anything. Let's actually just see how it goes, because often you have to do a rough graph first and then fix it up as you find more information. What about the behaviour near the asymptotes? Working on that one? Okay, off you go. Work on it.
If it's more than 2,
Anna, you?
Right, so if x is more than 2, then everything's
Okay,
positive.
good.
Right,
Yeah.
that's positive.
So it has to be above.
It has to be above.
Mm-hmm.
It gets, the bigger this whole number gets, right? So it should go up, shouldn't it?
Yeah, like
Not down.
The larger it gets.
Yeah, because if as x gets larger, right, this gets more and more positive.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're
but
going
this is always,
way.
but this would be larger, the top would be larger than the bottom. Right?
Yeah, because
Between-
this one's negative.
Yeah, so I think it would go to infinity and not to 0.
Well, we're not sure, to be honest, but we're...
because we're saying that.
Yeah. So Seb, you got anything to say about that shape?
So
Um,
Olivia thinks it might go up again.
I do as well.
Me too.
Go up again, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
To make use of that asymptote. Otherwise, what's it there for?
Well,
to stop
Well,
it.
that's the point, isn't it? Because you need the graph to be going towards the asymptote.
One of
I
those
don't think it would be a
weird,
parabola. It might be just like.
I might be
Yeah.
like this
weird
really
thing.
like ugly one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the other question is how would you find where it actually hits that asymptote?
When y equals 1, is it not?
Wait, so what was your
Yeah,
reasoning?
well,
Just to
Then you
sex
find the
it.
x value, so you rearrange it to find
So
the x value.
maybe we better find a team to find that for us. Yep, so maybe you 3 find that.
Wait, so Donna, how do you know that
Okay, so
it goes
if
up?
it's
I don't.
That's right,
Okay,
if
so
it
what
goes
I
one
said was that
equals
as it
that.
gets bigger and bigger, right, the number,
What
it
number?
goes to positive x goes to positive infinity.
Yeah, so like let's say goes to
So-
6.
Yeah, okay, so for 6, this would be 7 times 8.
Mm. Yeah.
Would get bigger and bigger.
Does it?
Sorry? No.
When
Yeah, it
y
would be
Wait, so
like
to try for 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
you got this,
So
so
for
it
7,
If
becomes
you do
that's
y equals 1, you
40.
can, can't you move it over to
40.
the other side so it equals
Oh,
to
yeah.
0 and then put it in
So
infinity?
this-
Is it 56?
It-
Yeah, it's 56.
Yes, it is.
Yes, over 20. Right. And then
Now we'll head over and have a look at a middle school class. This is a good example of an MYP class in action. This is Miss Melanie Hawksley's Year 9 English class.
So we shouldn't be able to detect lots of bias in the news because news should be reported on just the facts without too much personal opinion from the journalist. So do you remember watching that video about it? We answered the questions. What examples of emotive language were used in the different stories? What different perspectives and opinions can you gain from the stories? What type of journalist would write each article? Do you agree with one article more than another? Why? Who is the target audience?
Now we'll head over to the girls' campus where we'll see Mr. Young Kim teaching a Year 11 chemistry class. Young Kim also happens to be our future diploma German and psychology teacher.
We have something what we call the upper layer of epidermis. All right, this means if I probably put it out this way. All right, so normally what you would find is like you have your skin and therefore you normally have like multiple layers. All right, so this means the top layer is where you have it's the upper epidermis, and then underneath you have an extra layer of skin as well. All right, which is the lower epidermis. So the top layer is the one that is that has that sort of protective measure, where there's a lot of what we call the protein keratin. And then on top of that, what happens is like you have the release of like certain lipids, which you will find on the top of the epidermis. And what it does is like because they're lipid, they're water repelling, so therefore it prevents some of the microbes to get into being absorbed into the skin. All right, so it provides an extra layer of protection. All right, some of them also release what we call antimicrobial substances. Anybody knows what that is? Yeah. So it's a substance that is most likely to kill. This means you have that information over here, antimicrobial substances which can kill microbes. All right, so if that's being released and sits on top of the skin, then any microbes that get attached to the skin probably will be killed off. For sure, again, doesn't mean that all of them killed, but it's a majority. All right, the other thing is like if there's a cut, for sure that's where you have that sort of open wound, and for sure we have the component of the clotting. Covers the wound, seals it up, so therefore means, in other words, if you have that sort of cut over here, it means it closes up the access point for the passages. All right?